Hey guys, it's Jackie here. Today we are in Banjar Sibang Kaja and we are here visiting a tiny house. Now Sibang Kaja is the area where Green School is. So it's in between Canggu and Ubud. You've got smack bang nearly in the middle is Sibang Kaja, and we are about 3-minute drive to Green School Bali. And so we have come to check out a tiny house that someone has built, Andy Ashton, who is a teacher at Green School, and he wanted to get creative. Let's go check out his tiny home. The tiny house owner!
Hey Jackie!
Hi Andy!
How are you?
Oh my god, I loved it!
You just caught me playing a song about my tiny house.
Were you singing a song about me in your tiny house?
Yes, I was serenading you and then you turned up. It's magic.
I know. It's amazing how these things happen. So guys, today we have come to see Andy's tiny house. Now, I'm so interested in this because you know I have a massive thing for tiny homes. I really love them, and I think it's an amazing idea that you've built this right near Green School. Obviously, I was telling that you're a Green School teacher. How long have you been in Bali now?
6 years now, Jackie.
Long time. You're from Australia.
Yes, I am. Neighbours.
And neighbours. We actually have a secret handshake, eh? We do this like, yeah. It's like Australia and New Zealand. You know, we have this thing going on. Tell me, why did you decide to build a tiny house?
Well, it was really a school project. So it started as a kid's idea to build a house that could be moved from place to place so that we could put it in a place that would protect green space in Bali.
Okay.
As you know, there's a lot of green space being lost in Bali from construction and overuse. And so this house was to sort of address that, where a farmer maybe could put it on their land, have an income stream from renting out a place like this.
Okay.
And then maybe move it if they didn't want it there anymore, but keep on farming or keep on having the green space.
Yeah, okay. So how long ago did this start? When did this idea come up?
So it was about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
In class, the idea came up. I think one of the kids said, could we make a Lego house?
Oh,
And
so cool.
we said, well, why don't you design one that's made of bamboo? Because
Okay.
bamboo is similar to Lego in that it's very easy to work with. It's modular, you can take it down, put it back up again, and it's a super amazing thing to use to build anything.
Yeah, so predominantly is a house made of bamboo. What is the materials that you've used?
Yeah, so it's bamboo mostly for the whole of the frame and the roof. And then you've got a floor here which is made out of a wood called sese, which is actually coconut.
Oh, so
Yeah.
cool.
So they've cut that into like tongue and groove.
Okay. Where did you source all the materials?
So the bamboo comes from a bamboo factory across the river.
Okay.
We even had kids bringing the bamboo across the river instead of
Okay.
using a truck. So the idea was to build a house that not only is sustainable once you're living in it, but that as much as possible, sustainable in the build as well.
Okay.
Now, the bamboo is a super sustainable timber, or wood, grass.
Yes, yeah.
But like the sese, you know, that's probably been a coconut tree that's been cut down.
Okay.
But maybe hopefully for a good reason, I don't know.
Okay, and is it quite long lasting? Is that why it's nice to have on
It's
the
easy to
floor?
use, easy to stain, it looks nice.
Okay.
As long as it's kept dry and away from the
Okay.
sun, everything will last really well here.
Okay.
So the key element here is the roof. So the plastic roof is probably the least sustainable part of the house.
And
But,
so
you know.
what is that? It's plastic from what? Like what is this?
Yeah, so that's a plastic that you can buy as a skylight for many houses. So the Eco Village that
Okay.
you visited before has them as their skylights.
Yes.
Green School has it as their skylight, and we tried to use recycled banners, you know, the big
Okay,
banners on the side of
yes.
that road, but that wasn't quite strong enough.
Okay.
That was the idea, to have banners all over it.
Yeah,
recycled
so
banners.
cool.
This is what we went with, but the next
So
time I do
what
it, we might try something else.
Yeah, what made you decide that this was going to be made into your home? Like, why did you, when this project came up, I'm interested at, you were like, okay, this isn't just a school project. I'm actually going to live in this.
Yeah.
I want to make this mine.
Well, I mean, I always have wanted to live in something like this, Jackie. Like,
Yeah.
I've always lived in places that have had elements of this. Like,
Yeah.
I've had water tanks, or I've had solar panels, or I've had, you know, sustainable materials, but I've never lived in a house that the whole thing,
Yeah.
pretty much the whole thing, is created in a sustainable way,
Yeah.
and the house runs in a very low impact fashion. So for me, it was a dream come true, and it worked well because the project required someone to live in it, and my
Yeah.
plan was to live in it with my kids.
Yeah.
As life turns out, they've gone somewhere else at the moment, and I'm here on my own. But
Yeah.
I've had plenty of visitors, and I've had lots of sleepovers, and
And so what is, like, how are you getting electricity into this? Are you on a water, how is all this working?
yeah, sure. Well, there's a solar panel around the corner there. I can show you whenever
Oh,
you want.
yeah.
There's a solar panel that's making all the power. There's some
Okay.
batteries underneath that store the power,
Okay.
and there's about 5 lights. There's a mini fridge for a mini house.
Perfect.
There's a so that's the power, and then
Okay.
the water is coming from those water tanks over there. So I
Okay.
use the
Got some
the
large
villages water tanks. Yep.
Okay.
The idea is to catch water at some stage and harvest my own water.
Yes.
Getting closer to that.
Okay.
I can charge on my laptop and my phone. There's like power points. There's also plugs into the mains if you need to. There's a cord that comes from the mains, so
Okay.
it's kind of off grid. Potential to be on grid if you need it. And it's super simple. Like there's no walls, as you can see. It's just like
Yeah.
a open air.
You're like the perfect green school teacher.
Well, I mean, I
We need
work
to
in a place
clone
like
you as a perfect green school teacher.
Well, where I work is amazing, and so it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. So I'd like
Yeah.
to sort of replicate that, I suppose.
What has been, I mean, how are you finding living in it? Because how long have you lived in it?
Yep.
How long's it been completed? How long have you been living in it?
Yeah. So it's been completed for about 5 months. And that's how long I've been
Yeah,
living in
nice.
it. It's a great place to live. It's not for everyone. I mean, I'm a massive fan of camping.
Yeah.
So for me, this is an incredibly beautiful camping space, glamping or whatever.
Yeah.
If you think of it as a villa, you start to sort of go, oh, where's my everything? But if you think of it as just like a nice open airy space, it's beautiful. And I know I'm not sure if the mics pick it up, but you can hear the sound of the insects and the birds.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a different cacophony at night. It's frogs and it's nighttime animals. The air's coming in, you can probably feel it now. It kind of comes in, it goes out through the chimney at the top, so it's got beautiful airflow. I've got
Yeah.
mosquito nets to keep the bugs out at night. It's simple. Nothing seems to go wrong. Every now and then, like I might need to tweak something on the solar system, but
Okay.
nothing seems to break. Like in Bali, we have issues with plumbing and electricity breaking or leaking. It's a very simple place and it's easy to manage. Probably for one person or two. I'm not sure how you go with one person and 2 kids.
Yeah. How long were the kids staying in this? How long did they be here? And what
How long
did
did they put up with it for?
Yeah.
They put up with it
It's
for about.
fun though,
yeah.
right? Like if you had young kids, I mean, this is an adventure and this is what Bali's all about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Young kids love the idea they can climb up the whole thing. And so you could have, if you wanted to, you could have like hanging ropes and hammocks and slides that kids could slide down a pole down to the ground.
Yeah.
My kids are a little older, so I didn't do all those things. But I mean, what I would really recommend for these types of houses is to probably have 2. I'd have one for the adults and one for the kids. And although that's making more stuff, I think it's a nice balance between comfort and sustainability, because this is a small space for 3 people.
Yeah.
If you're people that like to live outside a lot, which like I love going out on the weekends and staying out late and then coming back to sleep,
Yeah.
then it's a great place for that.
Of course.
I mean, a great place just to sleep and kind of use as a base.
Yeah, and then sadly your world is changing a bit, that you're having after 6 years to leave Bali and go back to Australia. So the house is actually for sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how much are you selling the home for? Yeah, we need to know. We want someone in this.
Yeah,
this
we do.
Beautiful space.
Yeah, super reluctant, Jackie. Like, it's only been 5 months, and I'd really planned on living in a place like this for a long time. Look, I have to sell the whole thing. I'm leaving completely. In June, I'll be gone. And I have to get rid of everything. So the whole house and the kitchen and the bathroom, which is something that
we've got to explore.
and everything, like everything that's in it, the couches, it's all part of the package. And I think that's great to have the whole thing set up for someone who might want to just move straight in.
Yeah.
It's a place, as I mentioned before, that it can be moved. In fact, it's been moved before. It was about 50 metres that way.
Okay.
And we moved most of it. It wasn't quite fully built to here. So it's had one move, no worries, and it can be moved again. So it only needs some land.
Yes.
And then it can be plonked really anywhere. And if you wanted to move it again, we reckon if we got about maybe 50 people, you could
Yeah.
probably pick the whole thing up.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not attached to the ground, it's just
Wow.
freestanding. So
But it is in quite an amazing location right now because, of course, we're right next to the Eco Village, right in Sibang Kaja, right at Green School.
Yeah.
And, of course, we are in the jungle.
yeah, it's a
So-
beautiful spot for it. I mean, it deserves to have a place like that, and I think,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it would go in a residential spot, it just might seem out of place. So I think it probably needs a bit
Put
of
this
green
in the
around
middle
it.
of Australia.
And you mentioned that the price, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it cost me about, so you probably should know how much it cost to build.
Yeah.
So with everything that it done, so the toilet, the kitchen, everything, it cost about 150 million Indonesian rupiah, which is about 15,000 Australian dollars.
Okay.
So it's at about 10,000 US, something like that.
Yeah, we'll put the US costs up so you can see it. And then, so that's how much it costs you to build
Yeah.
it. And then how much do you want to sell it for?
Look, to be honest, I'm happy just to get the money back because I'm not really in this to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, I put hours and hours into it, and so did all the locals who worked on it, and
Yeah.
the teams, the Indonesian
Of
teams that worked on it.
course.
But I'm happy to just to let it go for probably around about that much.
Okay.
If someone needs to have it moved, we can talk about that because it'll need to be moved. So
Yeah.
some people have their own teams.
Yeah.
I've got a team as well, so we can
Of
talk about how to make that
course.
work.
I think it's so cool. It's such a shame that after 5 months you have to leave it because I think it's such a beautiful space and I love the idea of tiny homes. Did you all do it? Because I think, you know, I am a passionate lover of tiny homes and also breaking the mold of how we have massive mortgages and we live in these gigantic homes and we have more than we need. And you know I love tiny homes and I love minimalism. Was there a part of it to you that it was just like, let's break down all this consumerism and let's also, not have a mortgage and forget about that and actually just spend your money on living life? Was
Yeah.
there such a big part of that?
Totally, Jackie. I mean, before this, I lived in a 2-bedroom villa, and before that was a 3. And it gets to the point where you feel like all you're doing is just filling up the house with stuff.
Of course.
And then at the end of it, when you move, and in Bali we move a lot,
Yeah.
you're getting it all out, and you're like, oh, I've got this stuff, and I just haven't picked it out of the cupboard for 6 months, or that one's been sitting there for 3 years, and it's like, what do I really need? What makes me happy, and what's useful? And I broke it down to being things that they had to fit in 3 categories, and it was, are they useful for their purpose? Is their
Yes.
function worth it?
Yeah.
Is it value for money?
Yeah.
Is it good value for money? It can be expensive if I think I'm going to be using it for sure, and it will last, and it's fixable, and those sorts of things. And then the third one would be, does it have a low impact on the planet and the people of this planet?
Yeah.
And they're not in any order. They're all equal.
Of course.
And then the last one might be if there's sentimental value. So when I look around this place and I look at things, I try and assess. And when I moved here, and before I buy anything, which I often want to do, like
Yeah.
maybe I need another beanbag because I
Yeah.
want to have someone over to sit with me.
Yeah.
I think to myself, does a beanbag work really well? Number one, yes, it does. Is it good value for money? Yeah, it's super cheap.
Yeah.
Does it have a good impact on the planet and people? No, it's full of plastic,
Ew,
polystyrene
yeah,
balls, and
we
so
hate it.
so that's like, okay, no, let's think of something else. So
And I think
Kept it
that's why
simple.
tiny house living, it appeals to so many people too, is obviously there's only a certain amount of stuff that you can fit in a tiny house,
Yep.
right? The bigger the house you get, then all of a sudden you've got to fill it. So let's buy this and let's buy that. And then, the house feels empty because it's so big and I'm such a minimalist. And so I think that's where tiny home living is so beautiful, and that there's only so much you can fit into it, right? And then you're looking at it really every day. There's nowhere to store stuff. There's nowhere to hide stuff away. So do you love looking at it? I'm a big believer in, when I see something, if I don't love it, or I always say to my kids, like, you haven't worn this in 6 months, or it hasn't been touched in 6 months, it goes. Let's give it to someone else who can actually make value of it. So I think also, I guess, a big thing is not having to spend all this money, and especially, hard-earned money on, if you're in a Western country, you're paying off a mortgage consistently, or you're just working to pay to live. And there's something nice in that, right? As you said, it's $10,000 US, and there's nothing else. There's no other costs that you're having to fork out month or
No.
each year.
It's low cost in terms of money, and which I love. And I think the cost that people see is your own personal energy, what you have to do,
Yeah.
and then also going without things, which can be another cost. So,
Yeah.
for example, I've got 4 plates. So if I use 3 to cook dinner or slice some things up, I wash another one to use it to then eat on.
Yeah.
But in my last villa, I had, I don't know, 18 plates.
I've got 6, family of 5. I
There you go.
have 6 plates. I'm like, if someone comes around, let's order pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't
Yeah.
also, if someone comes around, I'm always like, I don't want to spend my time cooking. I want to spend time being with you and
Yeah.
chatting.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't want to spend this time. So I'm the same. I'm very much like 6 plates, 6 things. And do I need any more? Well, I don't.
I
I'm
think,
good.
and if it's pizza, people will eat in their hands. And if they do need more plates, you'll just find something. You just go and grab a frisbee
Eat
or
with
whatever.
your hands.
Yeah.
Eat with your hands. Okay, well, I'm really looking forward to seeing around it and seeing how this beautiful home looks. And of course, I think it's super important that if anyone's interested in purchasing the tiny house of Andy, I'm going to leave his details on here and you guys can get in touch with him. But also, because it's not about just buying this home, maybe you're interested in a tiny home and all the experiences that we won't go into here that Andy's learned from building a tiny home. I mean, I'm sure you don't mind people reaching out to you
No, not at all.
and finding out, you know, what it was like to build this tiny house and what were the challenges, what were the amazing things about it, and then living in a tiny house. And what a unique way, if you're coming to Bali, what a unique way to come in and live here. And I just feel like if I was in a small family and had young kids, I feel like this is a dream for them.
You imagine?
I feel so fun. Like, I just think the kids will be like, we're living in like a tree house.
Yeah,
This is so cool.
a jungle tree house. Yeah.
It's different. You've got teenagers, I've got teenagers, and they all.
Or maybe a granny flat. Maybe a granny wants to live in a tree house.
Maybe
Come over for the weekend,
wants
granny.
to live here. I think that's so cool. And I mean, if I hope you can hear it, but the noises of the jungle and the scenery of the jungle is what makes living in Bali and in areas like this so special and so unique. Let's go explore.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yay.
So we are in your little lounge. I love it.
Lounge / bedroom.
Lounge.
So-
Oh, so is this actually a bed?
Yeah, so everything has more than one use. So this is the lounge, but it also becomes my bed at night.
Okay, but
Yeah.
hang on. There is something up here.
That's another bed.
Oh, so you've actually got 2 full-size beds.
3. So
3.
there's-
Where's the
third
third?
one's here. So that has a sheet that goes over the top, a mosquito net that drops down from the top, and it's a 3-meter long bed, that one, for tall people.
Oh my God, but what if I was to roll out?
Well, do you roll out of your bed at home?
I feel like I would roll out.
Have you ever rolled out before?
Oh my God.
I think you'd be okay.
I have when I was young, but I haven't as an adult.
No,
Oh my God.
yeah.
So, but also this is beautiful. So hang on. And these shutters come down?
Yeah, so that's for the rainy season. When the rain really falls, that comes down.
Okay.
And I can shut so this little capsule here can be shut. So we've got windows, and blinds here.
Okay.
So if you wanted to shut everything off here, you could
And
shut it
then,
off.
so at night, you're really pulling down this window, closing these windows, shutting the shutters, and then you're pulling across your mosquito net.
If you wanted to. I always just have the mosquito nets shut and I leave everything open because I like the sounds and
Do
the breeze.
you?
Yeah.
And you've never had any creepy crawlies, like a beautiful snake come up and have a little sleep with you?
No,
a
I've
little
had-
cuddle?
When I first got here, I had a dog. Give a cuddle. A dog came in and had a little party on my bed during the day. Ran around and around.
Oh, what?
And there was footprints all over my sheets.
No!
Yeah,
But this is so cool. And I love, actually, I know I've got my shoes on, so
That's
we're going to
okay.
go.
It's okay. I have
We're going to
teenage
go this
kids.
way.
It's fine.
And then also we can duck out here and we can just hang on our little
Yep.
beanbag.
Yep. And so that's a little chill out spot.
I mean, this is cool.
And that's also, the idea was to have like a little table there. Maybe you could entertain people with a couple of little stools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sort of open, but you could also close it.
This is so nice. And also, if you're having people over, it's 100% possible.
Yeah. So
Like, this is not, and also, sorry, are you chucking a sheet down here
Yeah.
at night? And
yeah, so I have like a fitted sheet that goes over the top, and then I just have
Okay.
a little comforter, and the comforter's here.
oh, I love this.
Same with upstairs. So
And
the-
you've got your little light there too,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can read.
got all the lighting. The charging spot is over there. Got my bookshelf with all my books on it.
Oh yeah, let's have a look over here. Okay, we're ducking back over.
Okay.
Boop-ba-doo.
Down here is storage.
Oh, we've
So
got some
we
storage.
talked about storage space. This hardly had anything in it when I started, and as you know, when you have storage space, what happens to it? You fill it up. So
Yeah, you do.
so that's it. I've said to
With
myself, no more storage.
useless things.
Yes, so that's it.
Okay.
If it doesn't fit in there, I don't get it.
We're going to do a minimalism, even cut down your... We need a video on
How to cut down my own stuff.
I'm going to go, do you love this, Andy? If
No.
you don't love it, it's going. And we've got the bookshelf. And then this is great because you've actually got your workstation.
Yep. So that's where I do all my very important work.
Yes. Well, you're a green school teacher, so there's a lot.
Oh, there's so much to do.
Okay, but this is really nice too, right?
Yeah, so that's, I mean, I've worked there while people, like the kids have been sort of chilling in here and hanging
Yeah.
out. It's kind of able, you can sort of separate things a little bit with the mosquito nets, like these come down and,
Yeah.
but you are kind of together. Like it's,
Yeah,
it's a pretty
it's nice.
communal space, like a treehouse is, I guess.
Exactly, and that's what's fun about it. And then we've got this bedroom upstairs. We
Yeah,
have to get up
bedroom.
there.
Sure, come around.
Yeah, no, this is a bedroom. It's real. It's a bedroom. Oh, look, and we get to be like,
Yes.
woo!
Yeah, walk the plank.
Walk the plank.
Watch
Jeez,
your head.
don't fall.
Watch your head. Up here, clamber up these this ladder, but this can also move, so it can go to the other side as well. So it's kind of like a, sometimes I have it here, sometimes I have it there, sometimes I have it inside.
Yeah, okay.
Everything's sort of movable, and then you can shut it down if you move it over
I love that. I love that we can shut these. I
Yes.
think that's so nice.
Yeah.
These are beautiful made.
there. Nice, aren't they?
What are these made out of?
It's a hardwood. I'm not sure what sort, but from the
Okay.
local. It's from the local wood yard, but it's not recycled timber. I
Okay.
would have loved for it to be that, but
Yeah.
that was cut to shape, and you know, in Bali things can sort of be a bit off if you're not careful with wood.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. And then what I love here is we've also got your hanging wardrobe.
That's it.
And I love it. It's just so simple,
Keep it
but
simple.
easy, done.
Yeah. Nice
And you're
airy.
like me, your wardrobe is minimalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do find myself doing more washing because I got to keep it rotating. So
Yeah.
but that's the way it is.
But everything, I don't know about you, but everything I have in my wardrobe I love.
Yep.
Okay, I want to go see the kitchen and the bathroom.
Sure, let's do it.
We have a kitchen and a bathroom.
Let's go and see it.
So now we have this sweet little kitchen.
Welcome to my kitchen.
I mean, we are literally in the jungle.
One
Shall we
step.
go hunting
Dun,
for
dun,
some for dinner?
Get back, get back. No, actually,
love it.
I like having it come in. Like, so I don't,
It's
answering your
so-
question from before, I've had no snakes, I've had mosquitoes, that's about it. But everything
Yeah.
seems to be kind of like, it knows that this is kind of my space and that's its space.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
And they don't want to come and they don't love us just like we don't love them.
I think that just sort of, there's an agreement.
Yeah, there's a mutual agreement. And so you have gas running here. This
Yep.
is how you're cooking.
Cooking, got
This-
the water over here. Maybe I
and you-
can show you.
Let's.
It's so there's no water pumps in this house. So most
Okay.
houses have a water pump.
Okay.
So if you want water, there's a little foot, what do you call it? Foot pump just here.
Oh,
So-
wow.
So I'm using my feet to make that work. So it's actually quite good.
That's
It's
so
hands free.
cool.
It's nice.
I love that.
Um,
And then we've got the gas.
yeah, got the regular kind of gas stove here. And sometimes it needs a little bit of encouragement. There we go.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's so good, right?
Couple of stoves. Oh, watch out, snail.
Oh, no, there's a snail. Oh, my God. He just got singed.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Escargot.
We've got the water filter. The
And we've
filter
got our
in the
water
here.
filter.
We've got the little mini fridge over here, keep everything cold. A couple of cold beers in there for later.
Okay.
Not during
And
school
you've got your pots and you've got
and
everything
pans, storage,
handy
yep.
for this.
everything handy.
This is really cute, and this is all any human needs.
Probably. I mean, you just cook here and then just pass it up here and eat up
Yeah.
there. And
I
it's
love it.
about as simple as you can get.
Okay.
So
So we've got our Terra water system.
Terra
I've
water
already
filter.
talked about Terra. I
Right.
love Terra water system.
Yeah.
And what is this? This is like the only electrical thing
Yeah.
looking in your house.
this
What
is
is
like
it?
this is like the brains of the house, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, certainly not me. So this is like the controller. So with a solar system, it's super simple. You have a solar panel,
Yeah.
you have a battery, and you have a controller.
Okay.
The controller, the sun goes in through the panel, the power gets stored in the battery, and the controller makes sure that everything gets put to the right spot at the right time.
Okay, and are you having enough to run this house? You're having enough stored, and you're getting enough
Yeah,
sun?
yeah. Never run out of. Oh, I ran out of sun once in the wet season when it was not
Yeah.
sunny for about a week.
Okay.
But generally speaking, it's got enough sun, and it's not even really in the sun. As you can see, it's kind of like
No.
filtered sun. It
Yeah.
should be out, and open sun over there, but
Okay.
I just haven't needed to. So
Yeah. And I guess it's predominantly you here, so it's enough to keep it going. And maybe if there was a bigger family, they could move it right in the sun. And I feel like everyone thinks we live in Bali, so we always get sun. We don't. We actually have, rainy season can be long and it can be darker, so it's hard, right, to get enough.
can be, but I think if you had more people here, just add another panel,
Yeah.
add another battery. Like,
Can I ask how much the solar panel, that one panel, cost here in Bali?
yeah, I bought the whole system as one thing, but second hand. It was, it was about 6 million or 600 Australian dollars.
Wow, so a really good price.
Oh, super! I mean, solar's
So
great
affordable.
value, and it lasts for decades. So.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing. I thought you were going to say a lot more expensive to that. Okay, I want to check out the bathroom facilities.
Sure. So we've got the brain. Let's go over to the digestion system.
What do we call that?
I don't know.
Yeah, come on,
The
teacher.
guts?
What do we call that? Hang on. This is our fridge, right?
Oh yeah, take a
Hang
look.
on, before we go, I want to see this.
yeah.
Have you made coconut milk?
Yeah, make it coconut yogurt.
Stop it.
Yeah. Do you know how to do that?
My
Super
God.
easy.
Coconut yogurt, a teacher at Green School, of course. I love that. I don't debate that. I'm not a teacher at Green School. Okay, hang on.
This is
How does
a
this even-
car fridge. This is a fridge that you might take away on a holiday.
No.
Yeah, and it's super efficient. So most fridges they open. Oh, that's my breakfast. They're for someone else. They're for a friend. So most fridges open like that.
Yeah.
And then all the cold air goes out. And
Yeah.
then you shut the doors, and then you hear it going.
Yeah.
With this one, none of the cold air goes out. It's like in a supermarket.
It's actually crazy cold. It's way colder than my fridge at home.
That's the lowest setting. So I can put it to freeze. If I put that to freeze,
Wow.
I can use it as a freezer.
And
too.
did you get this second hand too?
Yeah, it's from a mate in Australia. I bought it over on the plane.
What?
Yeah.
It's come all the way from Oz?
All the way from Australia. Look, it's got like something, the bungle.
I survived the road into Bungle. How Australian is that? Good old Aussie. Okay, let's check out this toilet.
Come on through.
Hang on. I've seen something.
What is it?
What is this?
Oh, that?
What is this?
What is that? What's that doing there? I
What
didn't
is
put that in. Well, you know we talked about the digestion system of the house?
Yeah.
This would be it. So
Oh.
this is called a home biogas system.
What?
So it starts,
How does this work?
Well, it all starts in there,
Okay.
in the toilet.
We know what happens in there.
Yep. So everything that goes into the toilet then goes through a little pipe. This pipe here comes out of the toilet,
Okay.
goes into there, and then that digests it, and then it produces two things. So there's two things that come out of it. One is gas. So this is methane gas.
Okay.
You can see it's a whole bag of gas.
Wow.
And that's what you saw before in the kitchen for my stove. So my stove runs on that gas.
So your stove is really running on poopy gas.
Stove is running on poopy gas. But did you smell anything when I tell
No,
you?
why
I
is
don't
that?
know. I don't know.
It's something about how it processes it and then so yeah, this is making gas so you don't have a gas bottle at all.
I have a backup if I need it, but I haven't really needed it.
Wow.
And then the other thing it produces is fertilizer. So out of here,
Yeah.
when something goes in,
Yeah?
something comes out through there and it's fertilizer for your garden.
Wow, that's amazing. And you got this in Bali?
Yep, I got it from...
And how much did this cost?
This is around about 20 million for the whole unit, including the toilet, the digester, all the pipes, the stove, and you can also get a hot water service, so you can run your hot water off it as well.
Wow.
Home biogas. Look it up online. They're amazing, and I've been so happy with it. It's my favourite thing of the whole house.
Yeah, I love it. And so it never gets full. You never have to empty it. Is there anything? It never has to be cleaned?
No, it never has to be cleaned. It never gets full. It always overflows as your fertilizer.
And how long would something like this last? When do you have to replace
Yeah,
it?
good question. I had a look at that on the website. I reckon there's been people who've been using them for like 10 years.
Okay, and
So-
then they kind of get a new one.
Well, I don't know. I think they just keep. It's pretty new. It's old technology, but a new company. I guess.
Yeah.
There's a few different styles, and this is the most recent one. So I can't believe how cool it is. I thought there must be something that it doesn't do well, but
Yeah.
I mean, it looks weird, but most people have it covered with like a screen, so you could cover it.
Of course.
I like it. I like seeing it. Like, I enjoy the fact that I'm turning a waste product into a resource.
Yeah.
But it's actually
I mean, this
poo isn't
is
waste at all.
amazing. It's amazing that it all, you start here, you go here, and it turns into the kitchen. It's like this whole process,
Yeah.
this like circle of life. It's a circle of life. I love
It's
that.
a circle of poo.
Yeah.
And who, you know,
And who knew that poo could be so helpful?
I know, and it's kind of, I think we've always been doing that, but just the last little bit of our time here, humans have been like shoving it away, treating it, making these big sewage farms and then turning it into this and that. But this is like, all these things are systems that you can have in your house. You don't have to have a tiny house for this. In fact, the owner of this company, the distributor, she has it in her apartment in Barcelona.
Wow.
So she has one. She believes in the product so much. She has one in her own house.
Yeah. And you really are living off grid, which is what I love, right? You're so functioning and living in this home, causing very little impact to the environment around you and then in Bali.
Yeah, that's
which
the
is
aim.
already getting overconsumed, right?
Yep. So this is something that every house could have one of these. I mean, definitely every expat house could have one.
Yeah.
Every expat house could have one of these.
Yeah,
And
easy.
you know, and yeah, you might not want to have a car fridge in your house, but maybe you
why
have some.
not?
Maybe you have a more efficient one or something like, I don't know. Maybe you do. Yeah, maybe you do.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing. This is blowing my mind out of anything else in the house.
I know, this is the best. I think this is the most
because
amazing
I think
thing.
this is so cool. And also, you would have seen the sign when we came in, which was really inviting people to come toilet in your home. And I can understand why, because I mean, you need enough to keep your gas running.
Yes, and I'm not always here. Like, I might go away for the night, and so then I like to have people sort of adding to it. So far, I've paid a couple of kids to come in and use it. I've had a tour. We do tours here a lot, and I had a tour where one of the kids said, "Could they go to the toilet?"
Yeah.
And while I was standing in this spot doing the tour, they went to the toilet and they narrated what they were doing in the toilet. There's a little instruction thing in there, and they said, "I'm doing it now. Yeah, I'm using it, and now I'm using the paper. Now I'm pumping it."
Okay, we need to look inside this. We need to look inside this bathroom. Welcome to the
Welcome
bathroom.
to the bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom.
The tiny home bathroom.
We can all squeeze in.
We can.
so-
No, it's actually quite spacious.
Yeah, it was when I was getting it built, I wasn't sure how big a bathroom should be, so I chose 2 meters by 2 meters, and I think this is enough room.
No, this is spacious for a tiny home bathroom,
Yes.
I feel. And I love it. So you've got how to feed Chester. Chester's the biodigester. Chester's got a name.
Chester's got a name.
So sit, relax, and donate. Paper, etc., in the tin or the bin, and you burn it later.
Sometimes I bury it, sometimes I burn it.
Okay, and then flip switch to E and pump to rinse the bowl.
Yeah. So what you do is you do it,
show
in
us.
here,
Yeah.
and then you flush it like this. So that's putting water into
Oh,
it.
that's easy.
And then you put it to 1, and then that sends it off to Chester, and that is it.
Oh, wow, it's so simple.
That's it. So it's not difficult, and this is like a boat toilet or caravan toilet.
Okay.
So they're built to they're bulletproof. They're built to last.
To handle anything.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. And then right here you've got your shower.
Yeah, so the shower's pretty basic, and it could have been more complicated, but I went with super basic.
Yeah.
So first of all, to have a shower, you
Yes.
pump the water here. About 10 pumps gives you a couple of showers.
Okay.
So
10 pumps gives you.
yeah, so this is so the system starts where the water comes in from the rainwater tank.
Yeah.
It goes into the tank, and then because there's no electric pumps pumping the water around, it's all about a human doing it.
Yeah.
So that's the pump. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the
Yes.
pump to to wash your hands.
So a lot like the kitchen.
Like the kitchen, exactly the same as kitchen. That's the pump for the toilet, so there's no flushing with a
Yes.
button. You do it yourself.
Yeah.
And this is the pump for the shower. So
we're
you
pumping.
pump the water, so the water's coming from the water tank
Yeah.
up there to one of those solar showers that you put in the sun on the roof.
Yes.
It gets hot in the sun, and then when you want to have a hot shower, you just turn that on and the water comes out.
Wow. So simple,
It's
eh?
simple, yeah. It's not perfect. Like, you're not going to have a big
You're not going to
rainwater.
stand in there. Yeah, it's
like
not a
steaming
rain.
up and like soap. Like, it's not like
Is it
that.
quite warm?
Only in the evenings.
Because it's had the whole
yes,
day.
but then by the morning it's cold. So
Yeah.
I would prefer it to be
The
cool in the evenings. Yeah,
opposite.
but
Yeah.
it's not that big a deal. Especially in Bali, it's not. If it was in a southern hemisphere, like really down low or really up high,
Yeah.
it would be, I think I'd be wanting to heat that thing up.
Yeah, you definitely would. Okay, oh my goodness.
So then you got
amazing, so
sink
simple,
and-
and you've got your sink and
Yeah.
you've got everything.
No lights either in here. I decided just to go with candles because I really like candles.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah.
relaxing.
yeah, so I just came
nice.
in, light a candle. It's nice. I thought I'd need power in here, but I decided not to. Yeah.
No, and I think it's always something that someone could add, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need to. I mean, Bali, we've got a sufficient amount of light, and then when it gets dark, it's time to close up shop.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this was amazing. This was cool to see your tiny house. I mean, I feel like I've been involved in it through just hearing about it, and because I'm genuinely passionate about tiny homes and not consuming half as much as we do, and I love it. I really love it. I think it's super cool. It's a great place. It's got a really nice feel for it, and I hope you guys get the feel for it through video. I know it's always hard. I wish you could smell it, and I wish you could hear it, and I wish you could genuinely just get the feel for the coziness and the niceness of it. But if you want to buy it, come on, let's all move into a tiny home. Then please reach out to Andy, or if you're interested at all in tiny homes and you want to build one, and maybe you want Andy's support, then he would love to help you along. And yeah, let's all do better for this world.
Yeah, I'd like
Thank
to too.
you for showing us your tiny home.
Very welcome. Please come anytime and bring your tiny friends.
Yeah, and you come and use the toilet. We need as many people as we come. If you don't want to buy the tiny home, come and just use the toilet.
Oh, actually, I think I need to go. Excuse me.
Oh, bye. We're going.